What's up, everybody? 2017 has been an amazing year for the Nintendo Switch, and with that being said, there have been some excellent independent games that have come out on this console. One company in particular has been releasing some really heavy hitters, and that is Nicalis. And one of the games that Nicalis released really caught my eye, and that was Tiny Barbarian. But should you pick this game up? Is it any good? Let's check it out. Welcome back to all of my subscribers, and if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure to do that while you're here. Stick around, you might enjoy the channel. Now, let's jump right into this topic. Tiny Barbarian DX. Tiny Barbarian DX is an awesome side-scrolling platformer game. Now, if you've ever played anything like Volgar the Viking or maybe Rastan, those games are very, very similar because Volgar the Viking is pretty much a successor to Rastan. Now, with those games, they are side-scrolling platformers, and they are just amazing. So when I saw Tiny Barbarian come out on the Nintendo Switch, I was immediately drawn to it just because it is a 16-bit style platformer game, and growing up playing Super Nintendo and NES, those games just really, really resonate with me. In Tiny Barbarian, you play through 4 different episodes, and each episode is pretty lengthy. Each one has a couple of different bosses that you have to defeat before you can make your way through the rest of the episode, and the gameplay is really, really fun. Now, it is pretty difficult, so if you don't like difficult games, this might not be the game for you, but the way that they did it, it makes it very easy for people who aren't very good at difficult games to get better. Now, most difficult games that I play when it comes to a platformer, if you die, you have to start all the way back from the beginning, or from the beginning of the level or episode. In Tiny Barbarian, as long as you make your way through the entire sequence that you're playing, it will start you at the beginning of the sequence. Each of the sequences, I want to say, is about a minute to 2 minutes worth of gameplay. So if you happen to die at a difficult part, you're not gonna have to start all the way at the beginning. It does do a very good job of giving you different checkpoints to make your way through the game. The combat in Tiny Barbarian DX is very straightforward. You basically play with a sword, and that is the weapon that you use throughout the entire game. But the cool thing is that even though you only have one weapon, you do have multiple different moves that you can do. Now, you have like a lunging attack, you can attack upwards, so it's very much like Castlevania, to be honest with you. And a lot of the enemies that you see in the game will remind you of Castlevania type enemies. And not only that, another thing that reminds me of Castlevania is that you are breaking different bricks in the walls to like uncover these like turkey legs and different types of like meat to replenish your health. So if you like Castlevania, this game is a fantastic clone of that style of game. Even some of the enemies will remind you of enemies from Castlevania. So in Castlevania, you know how you have the Medusa heads that kind of go in this motion that kind of float across the screen? There are enemies like that, like bats, eagles, different types of things of that nature. So this game is very, very fun, and if you like Castlevania, I highly suggest picking up this game. Another really great feature that Tiny Barbarian does well is the music. Now, the music in a game always, in my opinion, really brings everything together and really kind of immerses you in the type of game that you're playing. So the music in Tiny Barbarian does not disappoint at all. The music is extremely, extremely good. And in all honesty, I could probably find myself listening to this in the car. It has a fantastic soundtrack. Tiny Barbarian DX is also a co-op game, so if you are looking for a game that you can play 2-player, this does have couch co-op, so you can team up with a buddy or a family member and try to take out some of these bosses. And the gameplay is really, really awesome. I can't say that enough. Also, on top of the 4 different episodes that you can play through, there are a couple of different unlockable game modes. One of those game modes you are pretty much able to play right from the beginning, and that is Horde Mode. And within Horde Mode, it's pretty straightforward. You probably already know where I'm going with this, and waves and waves of enemies will continue to come at you, and basically you just try to get a high score and see how many enemies you can take out before you yourself get taken out. So in this game mode, you'll see like a little counter at the top right, and it pretty much tracks how many enemies you have taken out. and it's pretty fun. It also gets you very acquainted to the combat system, so before you even start playing the game, you can actually go straight into Horde Mode, and it's pretty much how the game starts out. When the game starts out, you are playing Horde Mode, and you continue to try and take out as many enemies as you can before you get taken out. Then the title screen will raise up, and then it'll bring you into the main menu where you can pick your episode and get started. But within Horde Mode, a lot of fun, and it really helped you get acquainted with the gameplay, like I said. So to answer your question, should you pick this game up? Yeah, this game is absolutely amazing, especially if you are a fan of Castlevania, Ghouls and Ghosts, or like Volgar the Viking, like I was saying before. It really does a fantastic job of making you feel like a real badass, and you just want to kind of turn into a barbarian and start going, "Ah!"
Hey, it's the gorilla sounds. Why don't you shut up down here? I'm trying to sleep.
It's like 5:30.
So what? If you want to be king of the jungle, take it outside, monkey man.
Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I really hope it helped you out if you are checking out Tiny Barbarian. It is totally worth a purchase, so make sure to go pick it up. Another great thing is that it is a physical game. It is an independent game that is physical. I love that the fact that Nicholas Games is really putting out these awesome indie games physical. I love to have this in my collection. It is a great addition to my collection, and I can't recommend it enough. This game is absolutely amazing. So make sure to hit that like button. Leave me your thoughts on Tiny Barbarian DX, or if there is any other independent games that you think that I should check out in the comments section. As always, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do that as well. And thank you guys so much for the support on this channel. I can't say it enough. You guys are the best. See you later.